Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can sync Mailchimp with Sierra Interactive so that all those contacts and leads you have in Sierra, everybody who's signing up through your website, coming through those advertisements you're running on Facebook and Google, can automatically also get added to your Mailchimp newsletter list. And also, if you're collecting any emails on another site pop up through Mailchimp, those people who subscribe to your email newsletter can get synced into Sierra Interactive's CRM so you can follow up with them there. It's a great way to use these two tools together as one. Let me show you. The first thing you're going to do is go to apination.com and click on Start Syncing. There you're going to see a ton of different apps, marketing apps, real estate apps, productivity apps. They can all be automated here. I'm going to scroll down until I get to S for Sierra Interactive. There it is. Click on that. And then you can see all the apps you can sync with Sierra. And we're going to scroll on down to Mailchimp. That's the sync we're creating today. Click on that. And it's going to show me 2 syncs available. I can sync contacts from Sierra to Mailchimp or Mailchimp back to Sierra. I'm going to start with Sierra to Mailchimp. I'm going to activate this sync. And the first step to setting up any sync is to sign into your API Nation account. If you don't have an API Nation account, no problem. You can click this link right here to create one. There it is. Or you can sign in, or you can sign in with your Google account, which is what I'm going to do. Once you're signed in, you're going to connect your apps. So let's connect Sierra. I'm going to hit connect. You can see it's asking for an API key and a name for the connection. So we're going to open up Sierra, click on this gear, and come over here to this integrations tile. Click on that. It's going to take us to the integrations page. And eventually there's going to be an API Nation tile probably right around here with the API key. But for now, you can use the Sierra Interactive API key. So I'm just going to click on that. There it is. And I'm just going to copy that, head back to API Nation and paste it in. There we go. And then we're also going to name it. And you can name this after you, your team, your company, whatever. It doesn't matter. It only matters if you are connecting more than one Sierra Interactive account to a single API Nation account, which is pretty rare. You have to be like an admin or an assistant who is managing multiple teams for that to happen. So we go, we made the connection. We're going to do a similar thing with Mailchimp. Hit connect. It's again going to ask us for a name and an API key. And the API key in Mailchimp is super easy to find. There's some screenshots here if you need to find it. I'm going to click on Mailchimp. I'm going to click on my account up here in the top right, click on profile, and then I'm going to look for a little tab that says extras. There it is. Grab API keys. And if you haven't created any API keys, there's not going to be anything here. You're just going to go down to the bottom, hit create a key, and you can name this key again after whatever you want. I'm going to just call it Sierra, generate the key, copy that, and go back to API Nation. Pretty straightforward. Just grab that API key from Mailchimp, copy it, paste it here. Hit connect, and that is how you connect to Mailchimp. So we've connected Sierra, we've connected Mailchimp. A couple options here. Do you want to sync all contacts that exist in Sierra into Mailchimp? I do. I'm trying to build out a newsletter in Mailchimp, so I want to get everybody in there as soon as possible so I can start staying top of mind with my newsletters. And then I'm going to choose my audience and hit subscribe. The one reason you wouldn't want to sync all contacts on first run is if you have a ton of contacts in Sierra that are not necessarily good leads, maybe stuff that you've already followed up on and you've been meaning to clear out, and you don't want to put those in Mailchimp because Mailchimp does charge you different tiers based on how many contacts you have in there. So maybe you don't want to dump 10,000 contacts in there if only like 500 to 1,000 of them are actually people you want to talk to. In that case, uncheck the box and only sync contacts you add from now on. We've just created this sync using the configuration we just gave it. A couple things here. The filter tool, if you want to filter who's coming over, you can filter based on anything from Sierra. So if you want to filter based on tags, that's pretty popular. You can say only send it to Mailchimp if I tag it Mailchimp. Or if it's under a specific agent, you can say only send it over if it is assigned to an agent with the email like that. This way you can sync over contacts based on who the agent is and create different lists in Mailchimp for each agent if you want. Or you can just clear it out, say no filter, let's start sending everybody over. I just want them in there. I'm going to send out a massive blast, stay top of mind with everybody at the same time. Finally, if you come down here to mapping, you can see most of this is done for you. Email, first name, last name, they're all going in their corresponding fields in Mailchimp. If there's anything else you want to add, you just hit the plus sign, look for the field in Sierra and add it in there. Also, we bring over custom fields from Mailchimp that you can sync into. So if there's anything in Sierra that you want to sync, but you don't have a field for it in Mailchimp, just hop into Mailchimp, create the custom field, and then it's going to show up here. You can see I've created a couple that are untitled, and some other things, type, phone number, some other custom fields. But this looks good. I'm going to activate this sync. So there we go. We have set up the sync. Now all my contacts from Sierra are getting put on my newsletter automatically. I don't have to do any imports, exports, none of that. And now I'm going to go back to Sierra. I clicked on the logo, go back to Mailchimp, and we're going to do it the opposite direction. So Mailchimp has landing pages. So if you're using those landing pages to get people to sign up for your newsletter, maybe you're getting some leads that way, and you're going to want to sync those into Sierra to follow up. I'm just going to select both these accounts again. So landing pages, there's a bunch of different ways you get people to sign up for Mailchimp. And if you get them to sign up for Mailchimp, you want them to be in your CRM for follow-up. Choose the audience that they're signing up for. So if you're running pop-ups or running landing pages for different audiences, make sure you pick the right one here. Again, choose if you want to sync all contacts on first run. So if there's a bunch of people in Mailchimp that aren't in your CRM right now, let's sync them all in there. You can check that box. And then if they happen to be in both right now, do you want to overwrite Sierra with the stuff from Mailchimp, or click this box and say, don't overwrite Sierra, just fill in any blank fields. We've created the sync with those options. And I'm going to go down here. Again, you can filter, this time based on stuff from Mailchimp. So you can filter based on status, based on names, any of that stuff, the custom fields you have. And then the mapping. So really important here, you can see we're sending over email, and it's also saying we need a password. So there's a couple different options with the password. Because we're creating these contacts in Sierra, and these contacts are also accounts that can log into the website we have, they need an email and a password so they can log in. So you can just type in the word password, and then every contact, when they sign into your page, they will just use the word password as their password. Not super secure, but it's an option to make it easy. Another option is to use the email address. So you can tell them your email address is your email address, and your email address is also your password. So put them both in there. Don't forget to change it the first time you log in. So that's also an option. You can also come all the way down to the bottom, and you can assign these contacts as they're getting added from Mailchimp into Sierra to a particular agent. So you're just going to put that agent's email address here, and that way it'll assign it to that agent when it gets added to Sierra. Just make sure that that agent exists in Sierra. This looks good. I'm going to activate this sync. And there we go. If I go to my syncs, I now have 2 syncs running. Everybody from Sierra is getting added to my newsletter from now on automatically. And if I'm capturing anybody for my newsletter, people are signing up, they're getting added to my CRM for follow-up. That's it. That's how you connect Sierra Interactive to Mailchimp. There's no more importing, exporting, copying, pasting, anything like that. It's just these 2 apps working together as one. All the contacts are flowing back and forth efficiently and automatically, so you can focus on other things like creating more deals. If you have any questions or need any assistance setting up this sync, shoot us an email, give us a phone call. You can also easily find us at apination.com/contact. We're API Nation, and we are connecting the world's applications.